How do I broach this topic and sound like I'm not an awful person? If you like butt stuff with women, that's fine. If you like butt stuff with dudes, you're gay. If you like, I don't know, the Australian kiss from, which is where they kiss you down under, you know what I'm saying? And from women, you're pretty much just a normal dude. If you like it from guys, you're gay. But what if you think you're with a woman and then it comes to find out you were with a dude? That would mess with somebody's brain so badly. You want to talk about trust issues? This all started by me just surfing the web looking for stories. And Colin Rugg posted this, and I saw it, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to dive into this. I'm going to start looking around and find out the truth of this story. I don't understand how people do not hear someone's voice and you go, oh, that's a dude. You don't see hands and you go, that's a dude. Although I got to be honest, with like 2-inch nails, it might be tricky. I don't see how you hear this person speaking and say, well, that's... But yet then you go through with it, and then afterwards it's like, surprise. Like that would, I don't know what I don't know what I'd do. It'd be like Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, where he made out with and was kissing the woman that used to be a dude.
Oh my God! Einhorn is a man! No! No!
I'll have to edit that in for the YouTube video because I just thought of it now. And crying in the shower and throwing, dry heaving. Like that's where you would be. So Colin Rugg says, Onlyfools star who bragged about sleeping with 250 high school dudes revealed to be a dude. Kay Manuel, who bragged this week about hooking up with 75 high schoolers in 48 hours, has come out as a dude. Manuel initially denied reports of being a dude, however, apparently came clean to Courier Mail this week. And in the interview, how can I put this? In the interview, this dude said it's not anyone's business that I used to be a dude, that I'm now a woman. It's not anyone's business, which means you weren't telling people that you were hooking up with that you were a dude. And so all these young guys coming out of, barely graduating have this experience. Yeah, I think it was post-op. I see you guys in the chat. I think it was. Because there's some photos, and either it's the best tuck job I've ever seen. But let's face it, if you go downtown and all of a sudden you're finding a Louisville Slugger, like a baseball bat, instead of a gopher hole, yeah, you'd figure out pretty quickly. And I'm pretty sure it would get out there. All right, let me tell you about today's sponsor, and then we're going to get into the meat of this story, because it's friggin' gross. Let's hear from our sponsor, Black Forest Supplements. I want to tell you about today's sponsor from Black Forest Supplements. It's called Turkesterone. As you guys know, there's attacks on masculinity, whether it's in the movies, news, social media, hell, even in commercials. The truth is, weak and feminized men are more easily controlled. It kind of makes us vulnerable to being manipulated and being weak. And that's exactly why anyone that speaks out against that stuff is quickly labeled a phobe or anti-LGBT TV, or they're sexist or misogynist, and they're just shut down from speaking. Well, Joe Rogan had on Andrew Huberman on his podcast, and he's a PhD, a neuroscientist, a tenured professor in the Department of Neurobiology over at Stanford School of Medicine. And he actually talks about this product as well. So let him explain to you what it is.
There are incredible plant compounds out there. Like there's this thing that's now kind of going wild on the internet. It's called turkesterone.
Turkesterone?
Yeah, they call it Turk. And this is basically it. And I actually I did one episode of my podcast all about hormones, and I went deep into this literature, and turkesterone, side by side with DECA or another testosterone derivative, it essentially acts the same way. It increases testosterone and performance and recovery.
How much does it increase it by?
Equivalent.
Really?
So,
so this plant compound is equivalent to DECA?
Essentially.
Wow. Where do you get this stuff?
People buy it on the internet. People buy
How do you spell it?
So you guys know Joe. Joe's all about maintaining really great health because, I mean, he's late 50s and he looks great and he's still a very, very active guy. So, you know, he looks into things to keep his testosterone up. And from a 2021 study, the average American male, controlled for age and other relevant factors, has had a 27% decline in testosterone, which means that a 22-year-old guy today has an average testosterone level roughly equivalent of that to a 67-year-old guy from 2000s, right? Well, now we have a solution. Black Forest Turkesterone with Tanga Ali. It's a limited edition supplement that's been dubbed the feminization killer since it raises your testosterone and helps strengthen you. It combines two of the most potent natural testosterone boosters in the market. I use it. I've had great results. I sleep better. I feel better. I'm losing weight. I'm gaining muscle again at the tender age of 52. Well, anyway, Black Forest Supplements, it's a brand dedicated to bringing traditional masculinity back, fighting hard to bring back what's been lost. So if you want to take control of your health and your life, check out Black Forest Supplements. Don't let anyone tell you that being strong and confident is a bad thing. Try Turkesterone with Tanga Ali to boost your T. Buy one, get one free. It's a 48-hour promo. Just go to blackforestsupplements.com/bachelor and get your extra bottle for free. I use it. I enjoy it. And it's doing well for me. Anyway, thank you to today's sponsor. All right, so anyway, this Onlyfools content creator gets exposed, and I guess graduating seniors out of school are called schoolies. Maybe that's an Aussie thing, but they're called schoolies. Anyway, this creator put up billboards to promote this Gold Coast promotion, saying that they hooked up with 75 graduates. Now, here's my problem. First and foremost, right off the beginning of this, they keep referring to this K. Manuel, who's 22. They keep referring, even in the article that exposes this person as a dude, they keep referring to him as she. At one point in time, I think liberal, open-minded people were kind of like, you know, you want to call yourself whatever, you want to change your name, you want to dress up a certain way, you want, like, whatever, I don't care. Now it's getting to the point where you're trying to convince us that we're the crazy ones, and that's not happening. We're not doing this. This is a dude who's had plastic surgery. Period. End of statement. End of conversation. And this person needs to be telling people that are going to be exploring and doing the thing that they used to be a dude. I don't care. I don't care if you couldn't tell the difference in any physical, like looking, touching. I don't care if you can't tell the difference. You need to be telling people, because it is an important thing to know. Mostly so you can do the crying game thing in the evening. Anyway, turns out not only did this K. Manuel lie about doing the hookup with 75 graduates in less than 48 hours because they were promoting their Onlyfools page. This is the billboard. And how do you not know? Look, okay. How do you not know that this, how do you not know? It's either an incredibly ugly woman, or maybe after a few drinks, that's when you get this. I don't know. So, because when I see this photo, I say, yeah, I could be fooled. When I see this photo, no, I'm not going to be fooled. Well, it turns out Caden Manuel, which is this photo that I'm going to zoom on, turns out who it is. This is the dude. Caden Manuel became K. Manuel. They look alike. And when called out, dude's like, no, that's not me. That's just a coincidence. If you're going to looks max, and this is what they call looks maxing, by the way. Not that you care, but if we're going to be in this weird arena of the world anyway, discussing it, we're going to talk about it. As a dude, this guy would get nobody. Now, my confusion, if I'm this dude at 16 or 18 years old or whatever it is, if I'm this dude, I'm hitting the gym. I may be getting some dental work. I maybe, the acne eventually goes away. You get some muscle, you get a little bit of dental work done. You're going to be fine. You're going to date. And if you're gay, you're going to date dudes. And those dudes will appreciate who you are. This has to be more difficult. Doing this to date has to be more difficult than going to the friggin' gym and maybe taking some stuff to help you get a little testosterone. But anyway, and here's the other photo. I don't know. It looks like this is post-op. That's all I'm saying. But you got to tell people this. I can't tell you how gross this makes me feel. Thank goodness I wasn't one of the people subscribed to this dude and or hanging out and or hooking up with this dude. Thank God. Because there's a whole bunch of us that if you saw this in the bar and, the plumbing seemed to be accurate and you had a six-pack and you had your buzz on, the nightmare-inducing thing this would just... Controversial Onlyfools star revealed. See, this is what I'm talking about. This Olivia Day and Lucy Manley and James Reynolds that wrote this article. Get your shit straight, dude. A controversial OnlyFans star revealed he is a dude after boasting that because all through this article, all they do is keep writing she. This is why it's so confusing. Because even the media reporting on this stuff is getting everything wrong, after boasting that he had hooked up with 250 graduates for his Australian channel. Kay Manuel made headlines this week when he bragged about sleeping with 75 graduates in 48 hours and set up a billboard promoting his Onlyfools. Revealed he had made the switch and claimed all those involved with him had been informed. But that is a lie, because an article here from the Daily Mail, this Lucy Manley, which if you notice here, written by Lucy Manley, come to find out this journalist was like, oh, you didn't tell the people that you were hooking up with that you were a dude. That you lied. And not only does Lucy in this article go on to say, not only did you lie to me, but you lied to the people that you supposedly didn't. So you're a liar as well. This is unacceptable in so many ways. Especially, look, I'm a 52-year-old dude. If I found this out, I can't even express what I would do.
No!
And there was that TV show, and this Lucy mentions it in this other article. There was a TV show where they ran a contest where people could hook up with this, I think it was an Italian person or whatever. And well, the winner of that contest went on to, because he ended up hooking up and found out later that it was a dude. So he had his pride. He had his own questions about his moral compass, and it messed him up. And he ended up finding out who this was and took him out. This is unacceptable. This is not going to be a thing. And look, you want to do the Onlyfools content, you want to post pictures on the web and not tell anybody. I'm not okay with that, but that's not what. But if you're trying to convince a dude that thinks he's hooking up with a woman that you're a woman and you're not, and you get down there and the plumbing's weird, and especially if you're a young dude who has no experience with women, and you get down there and things are all weird, that's not okay. Manuel previously said he had filmed the saucy content with graduates this year, but appeared to back down as he said, I haven't had to disclose my leap from man to woman this year because I haven't filmed with anybody. So either A, you're lying about filming with anybody, or B, you didn't tell them, in which you're also lying. And this so easily goes under the radar as a nothing burger. Like, oh, that's no big deal. It's just some dude lied. But when, like, if you were with adults, like older adults that had experience, that are 30, 40, 50, and you lied, you're probably going to get an ass whooping. I'll tell you that right now. But when you're talking to young guys that are coming out of graduating, that may have no experience in this arena, and they think they're getting lucky by meeting somebody that looks like this, that's willing to hook up in exchange for filming it to put it on a channel, that could do permanent, altering, weird damage to somebody. Because I know it would me. And I'm a 52-year-old dude with some experience in my background. And I know I would be doing the crying game thing.
No!
That would be me. There would be crying in the shower for me. What it would do to an 18-year-old guy that has no experience, I don't even know. And that's why this should be illegal. To me, I'm going to have to blurb this word out for YouTube. To me, this is no different than rape, as far as I'm concerned. That's what it would make me feel like. That I had been coerced and lied to, and I did something against my will because this isn't what I wanted. That's how I would feel about this. And you can't just wish that into the cornfield. That doesn't exist. Because I have a feeling if a dude became this, but still had everything intact down there, and convinced gay women to go on a date, and then at the end of the night they went back to her place, and all of a sudden she's getting 8 inches she wasn't expecting, and the thing happened, there would be stories out there that would call it the same thing. I look at it as no difference. So I wanted to do this story not only because I find this egregious and gross. I wanted to put this out there because you guys have to be careful now. Because even after finding out, the article writers, the news, cops, police agencies, the government, there's a lot of them that keep referring to this person as a woman, and it's not. And so there'd probably be no recourse for you, whether in the courts or anything else, because, well, this is acceptable. I don't see what the big deal is. The content creator previously denied making the switch and admitted that he had lied to Daily Mail Australia when he dismissed speculation. He told local media on Sunday rumors were not true and that he was born woman, before telling Courier Mail that he had made the switch to live his best life. He also admitted that he had lied about how many dudes he'd hooked up with during the first week of the schoolies celebration last year, claiming he had been put on the spot by reporters. Oh, it's the reporters' fault. Maybe this is a woman, because they're blaming everybody but themselves. Manuel's controversial decision to advertise his content comes after British Onlyfools star Bonnie Blue and Australian Annie Knight were reportedly deported from Fiji over filming this content during Schoolies Week. So this Lucy Manley that just wrote this other article that I just read from writes another article about, hey, you lied to me, dude. Like, you lied about everything. You lied about being a dude. You lied about the hookups. You lied about the content. You're just a liar. And so from the other article, because I've done videos about this Annie Knight chick. She's the one that wants to hook up with 600 people in a year, because she did 300 people in a year, and I did a video about that. Then she says, I want to hook up with 600, and she's well on her way to hitting 600 this year, and I did a video about that. Well, come to find out, her and this Bonnie Blue that was also doing stuff with graduates at a vacation resort for free. She's just like, hey, if you guys want to do me, I just want to film it and make money off the Onlyfools stuff, but you can do me as long as I can film it. And the guys are, young guys are like, yeah, okay, sure. Well, it turns out they're getting deported. They're becoming such a nuisance to society. They're becoming such a menace to make money because they're so greedy and with such low standards and morals. Even Fiji's like, you've got to go. Bonnie Blue and Annie Knight set to be deported from Fiji a week after the Aussie visa got canceled. These women are becoming menaces to society. Do you see why men say we have to put guardrails on women because they're just like very tall children? Like you can't just let them do whatever they want. They go crazy. Just a week after Bonnie Blue's visit to Australia was revoked, reports have confirmed that she and now fellow content creator Annie Knight are currently in Fiji, where they're now facing deportation. Fiji has decided to give her and fellow worker Annie Knight the boot as well. The duo had grand plans to film Onlyfools content during the country's Schoolies celebration, and according to Bonnie's Instagram stories, had already bonked 24 for the class of 24. However, things took a nosedive when Fiji's Home Affairs Minister, Pio Takadusa, or Takaduanda, Tiko Duadua. Sorry, I speak English. Where is it?
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
Declared them prohibited immigrants, saying the pair breached their visitor visa by filming said Onlyfools content. Now look, you're an 18-year-old dude. You've never had experience or little experience with women. These two come at you in a bar. Do you want to come hook up with us? No strings attached. But I am going to film the old in and out action. I'll keep your face off the camera, but I'm going to film the in and out action just so I can make some money on my Onlyfools content. There's a whole lot of dudes that be like, my first experience with a woman that I can't even get the fat, ugly, pimply-faced, blue-haired feminists in high school to look my way, let alone two women that look relatively nice. Yeah, okay, I'll do that. I'd have a hard time holding it against the guys. I would. I was that age. I know what it's like to have all that testosterone flowing through the blood. I get it. But these women that are just doing it, because what they do is they make, this Annie Knight's going to make over $1 million in Onlyfools, as an Onlyfools content creator. Of course she can go out and hook up with 25 graduate dudes, whatever. Of course she can, because she's going to end up making $500,000 from the content. This is private with extra steps. That's all it is. And we need to start making it harder access for people to get a hold of, because society's going down a toilet. The old me would have been like, no, yes, it's okay for age verification, stuff like that. For the performers, I get it. But for a young dude that wants to hop on there and he's 15 or 16 and he wants to do the old stroke and poke before he goes to bed, and he doesn't have a girlfriend, but he's at that age. I'm like, nah, they should be able to get because I had the magazines that my friends would steal from their father's bathroom underneath their mom's hygiene products or behind the toilet bowl, whatever. They used to hide that stuff. We'd find it. And even I'm now like, we've gone too far. We're going too far with this. We need to stop. And when I'm there, how many more people in society are like, yeah, I'm there too now. I think, again, without getting into the politics of things, I think that's why more people voted for Orange Cheeto than the left that was like, no, you do you, whatever's fine. We have to put some guardrails on this before society goes straight off the cliff. And I don't want those guardrails, but we have to, because people are going insane. Anyway, this person in Fiji said, I have exercised my authority under the Immigration Act to declare Tia Billinger, the United Kingdom national known by her screen name as Bonnie Blue, a prohibited immigrant, he said in a statement. This comes after Deputy Prime Minister Willem Gavoka said today that these individuals are harmful to the image of Fiji as a tourist destination, per Fiji Times. The pair had reportedly been staying at a popular resort in Nadi when authorities swooped in. Fiji Village reported that their cameraman will also be deported. So these dints have cameramen, they have probably sound engineers, maybe they have a fluffer. If you know, you know. They've become such a plague to society and whole that countries are saying, you need to go. You're a detriment to tourism in this country, you f***ing whore. Get out. And now entire countries are telling people to get out because they're so insufferable. They're so awful. And then you've got people in society that, no, this is fine. This is fine. Stop making me be the conservative voice of the world because I don't want to be that. I'm not that dude. But stop making me be that voice, you vapid whores. Stop. It's not the position I want. I want people to enjoy their freedoms, but you go too far. Now, this Fijian fiasco is just the latest chapter in Bonnie's wild week. Her troubles began when she openly discussed her intentions to hook up with the teens in the Gold Coast for Onlyfools, which prompted more than 20,000 people to sign a petition calling for her visa to be revoked. This week, the Australian government did just that. So now the English chick here in the black bikini that is filming with the Australian chick in the blue bikini, now the UK chick has to go home. She's getting kicked out of Australia as well. Yeah, ironically, the Annie Knight, the one in the blue, is actually worse than the one in the black, but she can't get kicked out because she's Australian. Even their own government is like, please disavow these people. They did it reportedly due to the fact that her visitor visa did not allow her to film content for Onlyfools, a.k.a. a work visa. Critics were quick to label her intentions as predatory, questioning not only the morality of targeting young men, but also their ability to give the okay. If I'm an 18-year-old dude and this comes at you, and it's like, hey, like all you got to do is give me the okay to put you on film, I'll make sure your face isn't in it. As an 18-year-old dude, I'd be like, yeah, okay. But in the same token, I don't think, these young men are very inexperienced. Do they know the gifts that keep on giving that they're likely to catch? I mean, these guys are definitely walking away with at least the herp. And that stuff's forever. I mean, this Annie Knight has, I don't know how many videos of her raw dogging it with strangers on the internet. And at that age, I don't think maybe a lot of young guys are making the best decisions with themselves. I'm not saying it should be illegal, but I'm definitely saying they're probably going to make some bad judgment error mistakes, especially with people like this. Bonnie's never been shy about her controversial content. It's made headlines before, similar to antics in the UK, US, and Mexico. In response to all the backlash, she clapped back at the middle-aged Karens. I guess I'm a middle-aged Karen now, who are leading the charge against her, and has insisted she has every intention of appealing her visa cancellation. Yes, fight for your right to go to Australia and Fiji and bang teens. That's a great idea. However, with Fiji now joining in on the drama, kicking her out as well, it seems like Bonnie's plans are hitting some serious roadblocks. Neither Annie Knight or Bonnie Blue have publicly addressed the situation as of yet. Anything for money. Anything for money. Anything for money. That's all. They're just, it's all about the money. They make millions. They make millions on Onlyfools. Onlyfools is a plague on the internet. It is a plague to society. Give average women the ability to monetize and sell this stuff on the internet, and they can make a couple $1,000 laying on their backs doing the old Johnny Starfish position, and they've gone crazy. But at least it's an easy way to weed out women's true nature. It's an easy way to find out who's skeezy, who's dirty, who's awful. So I'm okay with it. I'm actually okay with it. I don't think Onlyfools should be shut down. I think there should be the barrier of age to get in, as always. But if dudes want to give their money to see this content, I still have no problems with it. Because I'm not the guy that says we need to monitor what gets put on the internet. That's too far against free speech for me. If the participants, these women, can are the age that they can do it, and the men that they want to hook up with are of age to do it, I'm not going to shut it down. I think those guys are getting in way over their heads. I'm sure they're going to enjoy themselves. Most of those guys probably couldn't have the privilege of being with women that look like this without it being monetized. These guys aren't paying. It's the loser simps dudes that are paying to see the content. And so really the real losers are these women. They don't know it yet, but they're going to be so damaged beyond recognition. They're going to lose. They're going to blow through the money. They're not going to learn any good habits of saving it. And then they'll be too old, no one will watch their content, and then they'll find some loser to wife them up, maybe crank out a kid or two before it's too late. Those guys will be losers. The men paying for this stuff, they're losers. Society in general having to read stories about this from what quote-unquote newspapers, we're losers. And for the fact that so many people are saying that this is okay and still referring to this as she when it should be he, and the fact that this is being promoted in schools and by Jaguar commercials and by companies, that's the real people that are losing, which is society, humankind. Yeah, let me get back. Okay, here's the video. Let me just play this. How do you not know this is a dude? I'm sorry, you've got to be mentally challenged not to know this is a dude.
In terms of people coming forward saying that this is taking advantage of teens for profit, what's your response to that?
Well, I provide a full service. Like, I provide full service as well. So I see it as they're getting my services for free, and in return, I'm getting the content out of it, which then I can monetize to profit off. So realistically, like if they didn't want to film it, they can pay me.
In terms of people coming,
I got to tell you something. I just noticed something. I didn't see an Adam's apple. I don't see an Adam's apple moving. I mean, because I'm not a big muscular dude. Like, it's quite prominent. I do not see an Adam's apple. I don't. That's not an Adam's apple. That's a slope to the neck. Because you can see right in my video, right here with me. You can see that bump right there. There's no bump in this photo. There's no bump in this video. I don't see one here either. This might be full. Like, maybe that's why people are having a hard time with this stuff, at least in photos and stuff. Just noticed that Joker Miss Portugal doesn't have one either. Well, Miss, quote. Yeah, I know. But the voice gives it away every single time, at least for me. And you know what's funny? If you've heard Miley Cyrus recently, Miley Cyrus sounds like a trucker that smokes six-pack, like smokes a 2-carton a day.
The journey is usually the part that you remember anyway.
That's what Miley Cyrus sounds like right now. Go find a recent interview of her. Miley sounds like now I would think Miley Cyrus is a dude. I'll be honest, I'm getting gun shy. Pumpkin Medic says they can shave them down. Yeah, I know, but that's my point. You guys were asking, like, is the hardware intact? But the fact of the matter is, I think the hardware downstairs is gone, and the Adam's apple is gone, and there's been probably chemistry as well. So I can see why maybe some people got fooled. Until you hear the voice, then it's too late. Then it's over.